Hello and welcome to Rando Tech Info. So today we're talking about the Xiaomi Poco F2 Pro. This is the follow-up to the F1 Poco phone that came out a couple years ago that people liked so much they gave you flagship quality specs for a very reasonable amount of money, for around $300. The 2020 version of the Poco phone, the F2 Pro, is a bit more expensive. It's $500, but it still gives you that top-of-the-line spec sheet that people are expecting from this phone, and $500 is still a pretty reasonable price. This is not to be confused with the X2, which is the Poco phone that came out a few months back that was more of a budget phone. The F2 is the phone that people have really been waiting for, and that's the phone that we're going to talk about today. So a lot of people have pointed out that this phone is actually just the Redmi K30 Pro rebranded and with a different launcher. It has the Poco launcher instead of the normal Xiaomi launcher, and those people are not wrong. The spec sheet is almost identical. You've got the Snapdragon 865 processor, you've got liquid cool technology, the pop-up selfie camera, a 4700 milliamp hour battery with 30 watt charging. You've got a 6.67 inch display that runs at 60 hertz and gets up to about 1200 nits. It's got a headphone jack and a quad camera setup. So this is basically, as I said before, for all intents and purposes, the K30 Pro just rebranded with the Poco brand. So is this a big deal since the K30 Pro has already been out? Well, I guess that's up to you. A lot of people really do like the Poco launcher, so I guess that's something. But yeah, this isn't really a new phone per se. It's the rebrand of a good phone. The K30 is a good phone, but it's nothing really new. So as of right now, only one version of this phone is currently available, what they're calling the global version. And equally, unfortunately, it's not going to work very well here in the US on any carrier. Verizon, Sprint, and AT&T are all a no-go. None of their primary 4G bands are supported by this phone, so you're not going to get good connectivity with those carriers. T-Mobile is your best bet, but it doesn't have support for all of their major frequency bands either. Only 2 out of the 3. It does not support T-Mobile's band 12. So without that, you're not going to really get reliable coverage with T-Mobile either. It's going to be better than anyone else, but it's still not a phone I would recommend for anyone, just because, once again, unless a phone uses really all the major frequency bands of a carrier, you're not going to get consistent, reliable service. And 5G is a no-go across all the carriers, so no good there. And just in case you were wondering about the K30, because as I mentioned before, it's basically the same phone, unfortunately that phone even has worse connectivity. It only uses 2 of the 16 4G bands we use here in the US, so you're not going to get good coverage with that phone at all. So unfortunately, across the board, this really is not a good option for US customers. This is really unfortunate. A lot of people are talking about this phone. A lot of people are going to continue to talk about this phone. And folks who are based out of the United States, people whose primary audiences are North American audiences, are talking about this phone and reviewing this phone and talking about how good it is. And what most of them are failing to mention is it's not a good option for US buyers because it simply won't work here. I wish I had better news, but the numbers don't lie. The frequency bands just aren't supported. So unfortunately, if you're looking for a good value phone with flagship specs, you will have to look elsewhere. I wish I had better news, but that is all the news I have today about the Poco F2 Pro. As always, I hope you found this video useful. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this is Rando Tech Info signing out.